Ding. Hello.
Hey.
Okay. We are, so Melissa and Sarah here, and we are your directors.
Yes.
And we have decided to give you a little bit of help with the next few videos that you're going to see a series of videos. So this first one is going to be first steps first, and we're going to go over a list of things that you as a new consultant should always do. Obviously when you join, you should train your people to do these things, and it will make you very successful.
Yes, it will.
All right, so we're going to start out with, go ahead, Sarah.
Yeah, we're going to talk about your first steps. So you just joined. What do you do? Hopefully, you started off with, you might have flipped your party. You might already have started with your first goals. Mm-hmm. I guess the first thing you're going to ask yourself is what your why is. And by that we mean, why did you join Sensi?
What is your heck did you do it?
Why'd you do it? Everybody sells Sensi. Why did you join?
I still don't know why. No, I do, for real.
No. But, so maybe you joined during the $15 month special. Maybe you said, hey, that's just a lot of stuff. I'm going to get that and I'm going to be a kidnapper. But then maybe you dug in a little bit harder and your friends and family saw that you were really enjoying the stuff that you got. And they're like, hey, I ordered washer lists anyway. Let me just start getting that from you. And you find it's a little bit easier than you even thought.
That was me.
Yes. I hooked her with washer lists.
She treated me, brought me a ton of samples, and that's why I joined.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So maybe you want to make your car payment in the future with your Sensi business. Maybe you want to be able to quit your job and stay home with your kids. Whatever it may be. Maybe you just want to be able to go on vacation with your husband once a year instead of saving and going every few years. Whatever it may be, that's important because that's what's going to drive you to run your business. So that's one thing. Think about your why. Go in your PWS as soon as you start. Put a picture of yourself, updated picture, not the picture of the little girl buddies that are on there when you first start.
They don't want to see cotton heads. They want to see your head, your face.
And they want to see your story. So whether you think your story is like profound or not, it is. Like it's yours. And then people are going to connect with you when they read that. Random people that order from your website are going to go up there and see, hey, she has 3 kids. She goes, hey, I think she even lives near me. When they go look on Sensi.com, once you promote it to lead, we'll get into that later, you actually show up on the website. And then you go, consultants near me. So anyway, that's the why. What do we want to go to next?
I think the next most important thing would be to create your list of 100.
Yes.
It's down in our list, but I think it should be one of the first things you do because it kind of puts things into perspective when you do make your list of 100. And sometimes you realize you've got more than 100 contacts that you could get in touch with. But once you make that's when you start narrowing that list down of your top 10 or your top 15. And once you figure out who your top 10 or 15 people are, which typically are friends and family, close friends and family, then later on you'll branch out to those other people. So they're kind of the ones that are outside of your circle. And you will use those, I don't want to say use, but you'll utilize those people later on in your business. But immediately you're going to have your little intimate circle that's going to start with your sister, your aunt, your friends, your close friends. And then eventually you're going to branch outside that circle. So list of 100, very important, and think of everybody, your neighbor, even if you hadn't talked to your neighbor. Think about people that you could come in contact with, people at the doctor's office. And even if you don't know them personally, you write them down. So that's probably the biggest thing, just because that's where you're going to pull from those contacts and you're going to reach out.
Yeah, exactly.
Your next one, I would say, would be probably
like shooting star or
working towards shooting star.
Yeah. So after you made your list of 100, you talked to all your family and friends, maybe gotten some referrals, talked to people at your dentist office. You want to set your first goal to get 500 PRV in your first 15 days, and then by doing that, you hit the shooting star goal. That is, it just really sets you up for success. Like, if you don't hit it, if you passed it already, don't get discouraged. It's fine. We'll move on to the next goal. It just sets you right up in line for success. By getting 500 PRV in your first 15 days, Sensi always loves to spoil us with like all kinds of rewards. So you'll get a cool certificate in the mail, a charm bracelet, and everybody loves prizes. It really just kind of gets you going for success. By doing that, you just want to immediately do your launch party as soon as possible. If you can, at all, please try to do a home launch party. That is the best way to get all your people over that all sniff it. You don't have to you can do a Facebook party. Some people are super successful with those, and that's fine too. But I would recommend doing a combination of both if you can.
And you would be surprised at the amount of people that will come and support you, whether it be cousins, aunts, whatever. I kind of jumped right on in, and my good friend had a launch party for me at her house. And granted, I gave her all the hostess credit and half offs, but because I had collected enough random orders, which I counted as my launch party, to put in for myself. So why do we have a launch party and not just a home party with a consultant? Well, for one, you want to have a launch party because that's where you're going to increase your stock that you have for your own personal business. I know with my initial launch party, I think it was right at $500 that I put in. So that gave me a $75 product credit and 3 half offs plus 1 perpetual. A perpetual reward is an additional half off. So I was able to get tons of bars. I was able to get room sprays, and I think I spent like $50 and I got a crap ton of stuff. And then you use that towards your business. So that launch party is very important just because, for one, it gives you exposure. For two, you book parties from it, which your sponsor should help train you how to book parties from your home parties, which is something else we'll talk about in another video. But you want to book those parties from that. Also, you could get some potential new recruits. Home parties are very important because of that. So don't say, I can't do it, I don't have time, nobody's going to come. You don't know unless you're going to try. With that attitude, you're not going to be as successful as just diving straight in. So what if 3 people show up? You'd be surprised at a 3-person party what kind of damage can be done in a good way. Collecting outside orders, and there are other incentives that you can do with your launch party that you can help increase your sales. So do the launch party, pull your sponsor in to help you do the launch party, and if they won't do it, find somebody that will. And there are plenty of people that are at least willing to set you up for success, help set you up.
Yes, and I love what you said. Like, it doesn't matter how many people come. It's all about the quality, not the quantity of people. So don't feel like you don't know anybody, you don't have any friends. You will be surprised, like she said.
They come out of the woodwork eventually, and I can vouch for that. Just my customer base has evolved and changed over the last 4 years. So it might started out that I had, X, Y, and Z as my customers, and now I have A, B, C. I mean, the group of people have completely changed. And obviously, you still have those loyal people that are still there, but you're always going to have new and evolving customers. That's part of having a business, right? What's the next?
Perfect. Sensational Start.
Sensational Start. Yeah, we're not going to go into full details. It's Sensational Start, but there are 3 different levels. So you have to either sell a certain money amount for each one of the levels, and what runs parallel with it is how many recruits and how many consultants that you have join your team. It's pretty simple to hit, in my opinion. If you're following the steps to success, it's easy to hit those things. If you're living Cincy, talking Cincy, there's actually monetary reward for that. Cincy gives you a product credit if you hit level 1, level 2, or level 3. Obviously, it increases. And you also make PRV off of that product credit. That's the cool part about it. They give you a gift, but you also make money off of those things. So Sensational Start levels will be a whole nother element, but that's one of the reasons why you want to do these steps to success, so you can hit this incentive.
Exactly, and the credits that you earn from that can be used towards business supplies, anything, absolutely anything. It's just like almost like a debit card, using a debit card when you use it.
It loads right onto your account.
Yes.
Your Cincy card account.
Yes, and I guess as far as since we're talking about business supplies, there is if you go under orders, it's called the Cincy, is it not Family Store? Mm-hmm. Yes, Family Store. That's where you can go on there and browse and pick out if you want to order business cards from Cincy. You can go straight through there. They connect with Vistaprint. You can do those separately if you want. When you need new catalogs, if you need new testers, anything like that is all under the Family Store. When you go to order that stuff, make sure you're attaching it to an open party. If you order it straight from the Family Store, then you pay shipping. If you attach it to a party that you have open, you can get free shipping on that stuff.
Right. So you always want to attach every order that you have to a party. So
yeah, if at all possible. And just forgot what I was going to say.
I don't know. I think
Something else about business supplies, I thought. Oh yeah, as far as business supplies, don't go into debt. Like Scentsy is a debt-free business. You're not required to buy a bunch of stuff when you first start. Handwrite your labels if you need to. Order stuff from Vistaprint when they have a sale.
Right. So that's really it. Getting your people, having the launch party, and getting samples together to start handing out. So once you make that list of 100, I need to backtrack a little bit. You want to start getting those samples out to people. The bar that comes in your kit, if that's the only thing that you sample, that's great. Obviously, if you got the $99 kit, you're going to have laundry whips and you're going to have tons of other products. Don't be afraid to gift that.
Yeah.
Okay?
Here's a couple examples. These are the felt samples. These came from Family Store, but you can actually buy a piece of felt from Walmart, cut it into squares, and stick it in the wax. Put it in a little baggie or however you want to package it and give it to your customers. These can be mailed and they're super lightweight. They can go in an envelope. You can put them with orders, give them to everybody you know. These are washer whips. There are tons of great groups that you can be added to on Facebook. I think I posted a link to most of them the other day. But these are washer whip samples. It actually has the instructions and everything. Super easy to hand out. I just put my info right on it. Make sure you label everything that goes out of your hands.
With your name,
Yes.
with your phone number.
Yes.
At least.